Hello data nerds, what's up? Turns out that you guys are liking building dashboard with me. So I thought, why not create a new one? The only difference is that we have a different industry to deal with. This time we have an automobile sales data set that we are going to build a dashboard with. So let's get started. So this is the dashboard that you see on my screen is that we are going to build, okay? In this dashboard, I'm going to teach you two new things. One is about field parameter. So I'll show you how does it work. And then second, I'm going to write a few taxes to calculate year-on-year growth and month-on-month growth. Because generally organizations would like to see what is their year-on-year growth and how much they have grown month-on-month wise. So let's get started. Right, so as I said, this is the dashboard that we are going to create. And I'll show you one interesting thing. You see, we have these buttons here which says total revenue, total units sold, average price, BEV share, average price share, right? And then we have a chart below it. And currently I've selected total revenue. That's why you can see total revenue by year. If I select average price, ta-da, this chart changed. And again, if I select average price share, then this will change again. If I want to go back to total revenue, I can go back. So to create this, I have used field parameter that we are going to learn how to create that. And second thing, which I told you, you can see Y-on-Y growth, right? And then we have MOM growth. I've not given too much of time in renaming the title, that you can do easily, okay? So yes, so now let's build the dashboard. Let's check the data set. What do we have here? So we have a separate column for year, then we have a separate column for month, we have a region, we have model of this BMW, what models they have released, and we have for those models how many units are being sold, right? So it says units sold. And then we have average price in euro, then we have revenue in euro, then we have BEV share. This BEV share is nothing but battery electric vehicle. And then we have premium share, then we have GDP growth, and then we have fuel price index, okay? So this is the data set. Let me quickly load the data set in our Power BI. So I'll just go to get data, then CSV. This will take a couple of seconds before it loads. And then we have the preview of the data set. I'm just going to load the data. So yes, as you can see, the data has been loaded. So the table name currently is BMW Global Sales 2018 to 2025 data, because we have data of these years, right? So I would like to rename it because this table name is really big. So I'll just make it BMW Sales, I think. This is fine. Now first things first, I'd like to fix the canvas background, the dimension and the color. So I'll just go to format, canvas setting, custom, and here I'll take just height maybe 1000 and width I'd like to go with 1800, right? So that is done. Now Canva background, I do not want white color. I have taken the hex color code of the logo of the BMW and I'm going to play with that shade. So in color, I will just go and I'll paste this hex code. As you can see, even I have pasted the background color. I exactly don't see any change in the canvas background because if you remember, I already told you there's something called transparency which we need to take care of. As you keep dragging this thing, yes, you see, this is now the color is coming. If I just take it back to the 0%, you'll exactly get the color that you wanted. But I do not want this color. I think this is too much. So I'll just take this transparency as 85%. Then I have this color which exactly I wanted. So I think canvas is done. Now, as we always do, let's start building the KPIs. So I'll just select the KPI card. Now, what all things we can show in the KPI? We can show total revenue, then we can show total units we have sold, and then we can show average price, and then we can also, if we calculate average of BEV share, we can show that as well. This will show that how much we are able to penetrate this electric vehicle industry. And then we have something called premium shares. If we calculate average of this, we can show this as well. So let's do some calculation. Since I have a lot of measures to calculate, I'd like to have a different space for my measures. So I'll just click on this enter data and I'll change from table to measure, load. This will give me a separate space in the data site which will be called measure, right? So now I can just right click on this and I can build my measures. So my measures will be separate. So first I'd like to calculate the total revenue is equal to sum revenue. That is, first measure is done. We calculate second measure, which will be total units sold. Again, sum unit. Yeah. Then I'd like to calculate average of price share. So I'll just go and AVG, average price, average price share. So yeah, we have average price here. Now I'd like to see average BEV share. Average BEV share, or maybe I just write average BEV because okay. So I'll just write average BEV. Yep. And then at the end we have this premium share, which we like to calculate the average of. So we'll just go average premium share. It would be average premium share. So we have these measures ready, and now we can quickly put in our KPI cards, right? Let's start. First, we'll go total revenue, total units sold, average price, average BEV, then average premium share, right? Let's do some quick formatting. So I want this label to go to the top. In label, I'll change the position to the top, right? So now we have labels in the above. And the second thing, I'll open these cards and I'll go to the background. I want black the background, so we have background here. And then in values, I'll go to the values and I'll change the color to maybe this color. Yeah, this is the color that I want. And then labels, so for these labels I want white color, so we have white color. Okay, better. And as you know, I'm a fan of accent bar, so I'll just turn this on and maybe I'll give a color of maybe this, and then I'll increase the width. I think we have already done these things in my previous videos. So we have an accent bar here, and I'd like to increase some space between the accent bar and the values. So I'll just go to the padding and I'll increase the uniform padding to maybe, let's increase it and watch. Yeah, so 10 would be fine, right? So we have 10, and I'd like to turn this background to the white black color. Yeah, so in this we have black background. Okay, so I think we have our KPIs ready. So now I'll show you how to create the field parameter, because that is the new thing we're going to learn today. To create field parameter, all you have to do is go to modeling, click on new parameter and select fields. This will open such dialog box. Okay, all you have to do is open the measure, and then whatever you want to show there, just drag them. So first I want to show total revenue, then I have total units sold, then I have average price, then I have average BEV, and then I have average price share. Okay, now I'll just change it to maybe important values, right? So this will actually create a different kind of table for us. So you see, this important values have been created and it says important values. If I click on that, it showed me the parameters the way it has been built, right? So I think we are done with that. So currently it's showing me in a vertical list format. I would like to change it to the tile. Yeah, and then something like this. And now quickly I'll add the line chart and just make of this shape. Now in this line chart, the x-axis, this x-axis I want it to be the year, so I'll just select year. And in the y-axis, if I select total revenue, I can see the trend of the revenue, how it has performed throughout the years. Currently if I select total revenue, fine, but total units sold, nothing changes here, right? If I select average price, nothing changes here. So for that, all you have to do is remove total revenue from here and add this important values that we created in y-axis, right? So now if I just click on total revenue, it changed to that, and then if I click on total units sold, again it changed. Average price, yes, we have the trend of average price. If I click on average premium share, we have the trend of premium share, right? So this was done. So this is how you create field parameters. And can you see that in just one graph, we are able to show these many information? Because if we wanted to show all these 5 graphs differently, then it's possible that we have to go to different pages to build that chart. But with this, we can just build in one chart. We can show 5 different charts. So this is useful, right? Okay, so now the next important thing that I wanted to show you was year-on-year growth. So let's do that. Now for that, year-on-year growth, actually you just want to say that what the current sales that we have, what was the previous year sales, and then the previous year sales, and then the previous year sales, and then you want to compare the current year sales with the previous year sales. That's how you want to do this comparison, right? So one important thing, so in table view you have the current year revenue, but you exactly don't know how do we create the previous year sales, which means the very first step which we have to do for year-on-year growth is to calculate previous year sales, right? So let's do that. Again, I'll just go to new measure, and we are going to create previous year sales, right? Now, how are we going to calculate previous year sales? So for that, we are going to use calculate, because calculate allows you to apply filters later. So what do we want to calculate? Revenue, total revenue, and then we want to apply the filter. Even before I apply any filter on the table, I would like to remove if there's any filter applied on that table. So for that, I'm going to use all function and then the table name. So my table name is what? BMW Sales. So now this all will remove if there's any filter applied on this BMW Sales already. And now I'll just put a comma, and now I can put the filter expression that which I wanted. So I see, I'll just shift enter. In filter expression, I would like to compare BMW year is equal to max of BMW year minus 1. Okay. So now this should give me the previous year sales. And now if I want to compare that, have I actually calculated this previous year sales? So we'll quickly pull a table, we'll place anywhere, and then we'll pull the year, don't summarize, then we have revenue by year, and then we have previous year sales, right? So as you can see, for the very first year we do not have any sales because we do not have sales previous to that. But the 2018 sales has come to 2019 in the same row of 2019 because that's what you wanted, and then the same for 2020, and the chain is going on, right? So exactly that's what we wanted. Now this we have calculated. So now we have previous year sales calculated. Let's quickly calculate year-on-year growth. Okay, so I'll just go to measure, right click, new measure, and year-on-year percentage would be divide total revenue minus previous year sales. Okay, and what do we want to divide it with? Previous year sales. Yep. So this would give us year-on-year growth. I'd like to change it to percentage. Okay. Yep. So this is done. Now I would like the same thing to do with month on month as well. So I'll just go to previous year sales. I'll copy the formula, measure, right click, new measure, previous month sales, and instead of year I can replace it with month. So wherever I have this, I can just replace it. Now I have previous month sales calculated. Again, I'd like to calculate month on month. So I will just go month on month percentage, and again this will be total revenue minus previous month sales multiply by, okay, I did not bracket, and then we have previous month sales, right? So we have month percentage, and yes, we have MOM calculated as well. Again, I'll do the same thing. I'll change it to percentage, and yes, this is also created. Now similarly, I would like to create a graph. Take it above, take it a little this way, yeah. Similarly, I'll just copy this and paste it, make it thin, and then open the build pane, and then we can quickly, so on x-axis we wanted to be year, in y-axis I'll remove this important values and I will put my year-on-year growth. So now we have year-on-year growth, and same thing, just copy and paste this graph to the down. Instead of year, now I want month, right? So where's the month? X-axis. And instead of y on y in y-axis, I would like to have MOM in y-axis. So this is how the monthly trend is going on. Now quickly, if we just go to table to see what all we have. So you see we have region, we have model. So it will be very important for the dashboard to show that which region is giving the highest amount of revenue and which model is actually generating the highest amount of revenue. So quickly we'll just go with a simple bar chart and yeah, just put maybe the model in y-axis, and in revenue we can give the, in x-axis we gave the revenue. It shows that X7 has performed really well. This model has performed well, and the second model which has performed well is IX. So yes, we have this information which was important. And then the same thing which we're going to do, this copy and paste, adjust the sizes. Yes, I think this can go a little small because we have less number of regions, and instead of model we can just replace it with something called region. So China is the highest consumer of this automobile, and hence the maximum amount of revenue that we are generating is from China. And then second is the rest of the world. So China is above rest of the world. Oh my God. Okay. Then we have USA, and then we have Europe. Interesting. Okay. I'll just like to squeeze it a little bit. Bring it here. Maybe a little bit like this. Yeah. Here. So this is how it's going to look. Now quickly I'll do some formatting. So in lines, I would change the color of the line to, I mean, it's not going to make such a difference, but still the line is, I've changed to the same color which BMW I picked it from. I'll just turn off the title, y-axis, turn off the title. I'll just search for shadow and I'll turn it on, and in shadow I'd like to see the same color. So this is how it's going to look. I think, yeah, this looks fine. Just the formatting I'd like to do with the label, the title that we have. Maybe I'll make it a little more prompt. So this is say, this is bold. Yep, this is good. Now same thing, format painter to do this one. Yes, this is ready. Nothing much to do. Format painter, the below chart. So we have charts ready, they look good. Let's go to the bar chart and do the quick formatting. First bars, color, change the color to this. It's not making much of a difference, but still, right? Now I'd like to turn off the title of x-axis and y-axis. It's not important. Okay, I would like to turn on the data labels. So quickly, data labels. It has been adjusted to trillions because the sales numbers are really big. If you want to change the way we are presenting it, so just go to values and here display units. In display units, you can choose billions. If we select billions, you can see the sales has been represented in billions. Okay, you want me to zoom and show you. 286 billion is the sales which this X7 model has generated, and then we have 235 billions generated by IX, and then we have 213, and it goes like that. Okay, so same thing, just do the format painter and do with this. Yeah, so we have this chart ready as well. So I think we're almost done with the chart. Let's move quickly to the slices, right? Before I add slicer, I'd like to give us shape because slicers would make things a little, yeah, maybe somewhere here. Let's change the color it's filled with. It's filled with this. I'd like to make it filled with something like this, or maybe I would like to go with the darker shade. Let's say, yeah, this is better. Now pull the slicer, First, I'd like to see the ear. Okay. This dragging slicer is always good to have in yours, right? So now I'll just copy and paste. I'll change it to month, right? So we have months here. Okay, so these two are ready. Now we have region and we have model. So I'd like both of them to be in slices. For that, I would just go to the button slicer, maybe, not sure. Let's check. We can just have the region here. Okay, let's go to the slicer settings. Let's see if we have something. What if I highlight to move it vertical? Okay, it's taking a lot of space. So just go to the normal. So I just changed it to the normal slicer, and now it looks like this. China, Europe, rest of the world, and USA. I would like to go with the vertical list. I don't know, you can change as per your preferences. And then with this, maybe let's go to the button slicer, and I would like to add the model, right? It would be better if I could show everything. Let's say a little bit of adjustment. Yeah, so this shows we can just select whatever we want and the charts will respond. Mini, X3, X7. Here if we come, if we select China, and all the other charts are responding, right? That's what we wanted. So now quickly we can just turn off the title. So I'm not going to do a lot of formatting on these slicers. You can always explore. I have taught you how to go and explore the designs. You can always do that. So that's not a big deal. So I'm not going to put a lot of time in that. I have downloaded a BMW logo. So I'll just quickly insert image. In that image, I'd like to go to style, image, browse. We have BMW logo. Yep. Yeah. And one thing I forgot to format this. So let's do that formatting. We do not want slicer header. So I just changed it to button slicer because I think I'll be able to present it better. So I'll just rows. It's asking for rows. So I can always give 5 column. So yeah, now it's showing. I can just turn off the background. No background needed. You can just turn off the title. Then we can go to the buttons and shape. I would like to shape it more. Okay, no, that is too much. Maybe 20. 20 looks fine, right? Now, background, border. I don't want any border. I want background, right? Now, I think when I hover on this, I'd like to see a lighter shade, right? So if I just default, I'd like to, okay, so let's first select the default color. By default, I'd like to be this in this color, yeah, right? When I hover, I'd like to see a lighter shade somewhere. Let's select this and go to more colors and make it light. Okay, something like this, yeah, it should go like this. And when we select something, we already have, if we go to select, the background color is black, which I'm okay with. If we go to press means if we are just pressing it. So when we are pressing, I can see it's turning to gray. Let's see, do we have gray color? Yep, we have gray color. That's why I'd like to go with this color. Yeah, so this looks good. Yes, so this is also ready. It would be okay if this looked a little smaller. So here I can just make it like this. So yeah, this was the quick dashboard that I wanted to show you, and design part you can always go and explore. There's no end to that, so I do not want to waste so much of time on designing because that's something for you to explore. Here you learn two new things, that was creating field parameters and how you can save so much of space if you can just use that. And then we also learned how to show year on year and month on month. So I hope you learned something new, and do try by your own. Open the Power BI and try building this dashboard. It's very simple. It should take just 20 to 25 minutes of yours. And yes, let me know if you have any issues in the comment section. Bye bye.